Assalamu alaikum, my dear students of class 7. This is your teacher, Miss Yusra Mughal, with another interesting lesson from your book, which is organized in a virtual class by Metropolitan School. So, today we are going to start our lesson 5 of page number 35, which is a Pakistani folk tale about a girl who grew in an aubergine. Do you know, my dear students, that what is aubergine? It is an eggplant or a brinjal, a purple color vegetable which is eaten as vegetable. Right, my dear students? So let's start our story. This is a story of a girl raised by a poor farmer who lost his land and looking for wild plants and roots for their food. One day farmer is looking for something to eat and he found an aubergine plant. He planted it outside his house and take care of it every day. He watered it and after some time the aubergine grew tall and strong and bore one large fruit. One day, when they have nothing to eat, farmer said to his wife to cut the aubergine and cook it for the meal. So, when she started cutting it, there is a voice came out from the aubergine of a girl that is to cut carefully. So, when she cut off the last piece of the skin, the most beautiful girl you can imagine stepped out of the fruit. So, farmer and his wife were very surprised and they are delighted and excited as well because they don't have any children. So, when they saw a girl from the aubergine, they thought that this is the gift of God. So, they decided to keep her as a daughter and give her a name. What's name they gave her? They gave her a name Princess Aubergine because she comes out from the aubergine plant. So that's why they gave the name Princess Aubergine. And why princess? Because she looks like a princess. One day, a slave girl from the king's palace, which is near to the farmer's hut, was passing the hut, and she saw the beautiful girl combing her hair. She went to the palace and told the queen about the princess Aubergine and tell that she is very beautiful and delicate. And if the king sees her, he will forget every other woman in the world. The queen was a very jealous woman and she is a wicked woman and also skilled in magic. So she thought that if she can make girl come to the palace, so she can destroy her with her magical powers. So then the queen sent a message to the princess that she had heard a lot about her beauty and she would like to meet her so that she can see her with her own eyes. But in actual, she is getting jealous of the aubergine. So when this message sent to the aubergine, aubergine was feeling so proud. Obviously, the message came from the king or queen and they want to meet you. So you feel somehow proud. So aubergine was also so proud and she is also proud of her beauty as well. So she was very delighted to receive such a message from the queen and she went to the palace. When she entered the palace, when the aubergine were in the palace, so what happened that the queen first pretended to be pleased by her beauty, like she is a kind of a show off that she is very, she is very positive to see her in a beauty and she makes her feel comfortable and makes her feel more beautiful and all, and ask her to live in the palace like a sister. So what happened next? That the Princess Aubergine, who is already proud to receive the message from the queen, and at the end when she have heard that the queen wants her to be lived in the palace, so this idea pleased Aubergine, and she gladly agreed to remain in the palace. The queen knew that she must be careful in how she used her magical power, for she saw that Aubergine was not an ordinary human being, but she looks like a fairy. So, what she has done, she has made a strong spell while Aubergine slept, and then asked to the girl, that beautiful Aubergine, tell me true, in what does your life lie? She sang, and the sleeping girl answered that in the life of your eldest son. Kill him, and I shall die. So, king and queen have 7 sons. So, early the next morning, the queen went to where her the eldest son lay asleep and kill him with her own hands. So, how wicked and selfish she is, that she has killed her own son, the eldest one, just for the sake of her comfortness. The queen think that the aubergine was dead, but she was still alive when she sent a slave girl to waken the princess. So she thought that obviously, if the life lie is in the eldest son, so she must be die because the eldest son was died, but actually not. So what happened next? She again made a spell more stronger than more stronger than before, and again when she spell, so the Princess Aubergine replied that in the life of your second son. So she killed her second son, and in that way, Queen killed her all 7 sons. Imagine that how wicked and how jealous of Queen that she killed her all 7 sons, and the wicked Queen killed the sons and still the aubergine alive. So the wicked queen was nearly mad with anger and sorrow and decided to make the more stronger spell at last, and the princess answered, truly. So what was the answer of the aubergine? Answer is that in a faraway river lives a red and green fish. Inside this fish is a bumblebee. Inside the bumblebee is a tiny box, and inside the box is a wonderful necklace. So put it on, and I shall die. So Queen was very delighted and very excited when she knew that the life of a princess aubergine lie on that necklace. So Queen asked the king that to bring out the necklace, and she tell the king whatever the princess aubergine said, that in a faraway river in a red and green fish there is a necklace inside. So king ordered every fisherman in the kingdom to must fish until they found that red and green fish, and when they caught, they brought it to the queen, and queen opened the fish and put on the necklace. So when the Princess Aubergine heard the news that the fish has been brought, so she already knew that she will die soon. So she returned to her parents and told them to not to burn or buried her body. She said that dress her in her finest clothes and lay her on her bed, put flowers around her and carry her into wood, and you must place her bed on the ground there and build a high wall round it. So this is the request from the princess aubergine to her parents, to her poor parents who are farmer and his wife. So when queen wore that necklace, put on that necklace, so she sent. So what happened? She sent the slave girl to the hut just for to ask for the princess. So when the slave girl returned and tell that her body is not buried or burned, and they carried her into the wood in the north side, so Queen feels like some sort of Queen is uncomfortable or uneasy with this. So the queen is very uneasy when she heard that Princess Aubergine is not buried or burned. So she take promise from the king that king will never go for hunting on the north side. But meanwhile, king went to hunt every day because he was trying to forget the sorrow of his son. So one day king had hunted to the south, east and west and shot nothing. So he decided to move towards north, and she forgot that she had a promise with the queen that she had never been to the north side. But at the north side, he found a high wall with no door, which made him curious. So he climbed up the wall and saw a beautiful lady sleep on the bed covered with flowers and looking as though she had just fallen asleep. So after many months passed, King go went there regularly, and after many months passed, that king saw a child was playing with a woman. And when the child grew and learned to talk, king asked to the child that what made his mother die. The boy told the whole story, that how the queen killed her all seven sons just to kill her mother and to put on the necklace. So after hearing this news that the queen has killed all the seven sons, the king was shocked and asked the boy to come with him at the palace and ask the boy that to ask her mother that how to get the necklace back and how her mother became alive, because as per the boy told that her mother was alive at night because the queen put off the necklace. So that's why the Princess Aubergine alive at night and she take care of her son. So king took the boy to the palace and told that he is the king's son. So queen was remembering her own seven sons which she had killed by her own hands, and she get jealous of that boy. So she decided to kill the boy as well. So she offered him some sweets with in which she already added the poison. So what happened next? That boy asked that he will take the sweets if she gave him the necklace. So after getting the necklace, the boy ran from the palace and gave the necklace to the Princess Aubergine. And after a while, when king reached over there and asked Aubergine to get married and to live happily with him, so Princess Aubergine said that she will not marry king until and unless the queen were there, because she feel that queen will soon kill her and her son. So she asked king that to dug a dig a deep hole at the palace gate and filled with snakes, and must throw the queen buried alive. So if the king did this, so she can marry her. And king did this. Queen already knew that something happened and she doesn't have the necklace. So queen was not agreed to go outside, but king ordered his soldier to seize her. So he throw her. So the king throw her, the queen, to in the deep hole with the snakes. And after that, king did whatever the princess said, and they were married and lived happily ever after. So my dear students, that what is the lesson behind this story? Obviously every story has some lesson and some moral in it. So what is the lesson behind it? The lesson is, if you do something wrong, it will come back to you as well. यानी अगर आप किसी के साथ बुरा करते हैं तो बुरा आपके साथ भी होगा. If we can take it in a phrasal, in a phrase, just जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी. Right, my dear students? So students, here's the time to do some work. So how can you start your work? You will have to make the title page of the chapter, and after making the title page, you will have to write down the vocabulary meanings. So these are the vocabulary meanings which I have done for you. So have a look at it. So starting from number 1, that is aubergine. I already told you that what is aubergine. Aubergine are the eggplants. Unwillingly, against one's wish. Like if you don't want to do something, but you are doing something for the sake of someone else. Delicate, very fine in texture or structure. Comb, to tidy your hair using a comb. Wicked, evil or morally wrong. Bumblebee, a large bee covered with short hairs and make a loud noise when flies. Deadly, causing or able to cause death. Number 8, nursed, given medical and other attention to a sick person. Bury, put or hide underground. Seize, take hold of suddenly and forcibly. As I already told you that the word seize is used when the soldiers seized the queen to throw her into the hole. Number 11, that is proud. It is a feeling of pleasure for oneself. So here are the phrases, idioms and meanings. There are some phrases written over there and you will have to write down the meaning. So made a strong spell. So to use magic to make something to someone, happen to someone. For nothing, at no cost, to no purpose. Stepped out of, to leave a place. Went on, moved to the next thing or stage. Day after day, repeatedly for many days, in spite of, irrespective of, at last, in the end, and put on to wear something. Okay, so now let's moving towards the exercises. The exercise of page number 39, comprehension and vocabulary, exercise A. In this exercise, what you will have to do, you will have to write the opposites of the words which are already given. Right, my dear students? The opposites of the words which are already given. So what are the words? That beautiful, and the opposite is ugly. Tall, short. Strong, weak. Tiny, huge. Delicate, coarse. Jealous, trusting. Truth, lie. Evil, good. High, low. Deep, shallow. Day, night. Okay, so there is another exercise on the same page, that is exercise B from your book. In this exercise, there is a list A and B given. In the list A contains word taken from the passage. The words which is in the list A are taken from the passage. And in list B, what you will have to do, you will have to find a word or a phrase in list B with a similar meaning. So, the word with the similar meaning, the words from list A, and list B, the word with the similar meaning. So you will have to match these words. Right, my dear students? So I am doing this as words meaning in list A and list B for you. If you want to do it in the match the columns sort, so you can do it as well. So here comes the list A. List A, farmer. So who is the farmer? Just find it out on the list B, that the farmer is a man who lives by working the land. Silk. What is silk? Silk is the fine, soft thread made by silkworms. Delighted, pleased, pretended, made herself appear. Tenderly, gently. Punish, be made to suffer for wrongdoing. Tempting, attractive. So students, now it's time to do some grammar work. At page number 40, there is an exercise, exercise A. In this exercise, you will have to change the sentences into questions, right? There are some sentences given and you will have to try to change it into question forms. So my dear students, before starting this exercise, few things which I want to discuss with you, that now, up till now, we are just reading and we are just learning about the statements. But there are some other forms of sentences and to deliver a message to someone as well. So, what are we asking, that we are, if we want to ask for something, so we can question for that, right? And there are some sentences in which we ordered something, we command on something, and there are some sentences in which we are expressing our feelings, so that sentences are called the exclamatory sentences, and we are using the words exclamations for that. So when we are asking for something, not ordering, but giving respect, giving request to someone. So there are how many types of sentences we are discussing? That number one is statement sentences, the simple sentences. Number two are the question sentences. Number three are the commands and the request. And number four are the exclamation in which the feeling is expressed. So in this exercise, we are starting with the questions, that you will have to make the questions. So we have already discussed in our tenses, in our grammar exercises, that how we are making questions. So we are making question by just interchange the place of verb and the helping verb and the subject. So this thing is also practiced over here. So the here is the exercise A, and in this exercise you will have to change the sentences into questions. So there are, this is the exercise. She is pleased. Is she pleased? The teacher is happy. Is the teacher happy? They have finished. Have they finished? His father was there. Was his father there? They were laughing. Were they laughing? I shall go. Shall I go? He will tell us. Will he tell us? We must hurry. Must we hurry? We may stop work now. May we stop work now? Mr. Rafi ought to wait. Ought Mr. Rafi to wait? She would have waited if we had asked her. Would she have waited if we had asked her? Your sister can tell us. Can your sister tell us? Have you seen the pattern of the have you seen the pattern of to make sentence to make questions? So this is the similar pattern which we followed in the tenses as well. So I think it's really helpful for you people for making question sentences. So let's moving towards a new topic, that is the letter writing. So before writing a letter, the few things which you may have understand, that there are the types of letter as well. So let us first understand that there are broadly two types of letter, and the types are formal letters and informal letters. So firstly, I will have to describe you the formal letters. So these letters follow a certain pattern and formality. They are strictly kept professional in nature and directly address the issues concerned. Any type of business letter or letter to the authorities fall within this given category. So, any business letter or any letter to the authorities, like if you are writing a letter to your principal, so you can follow a pattern to write a letter. So all these letters which you are writing to your principal or to your teacher are also come in the formal letters. Have you seen that while you are writing a formal letter, you are following a pattern for that? So, and you are directly addressing to whatever you ask for and whatever you need, right, my dear students? So in this type of letter, there is no need to write the extra details, and you should have to follow the pattern. So let's moving towards the another type, that is informal letters. These are the personal letters. They need not to follow any set pattern or adhere to any formalities. They contain personal information or a written conversation. Informal letters are generally written to friends, acquaintances, and relatives, etc. So those people whom you already knew and you want to talk with them, basically these comes in the informal letters, as they don't have need to follow the pattern in it. You can talk whatever, you can write whatever you want to talk and want to inform to your parents, to your friends, and whatever you need to talk about any of the topics. So there is no need to write any pattern in that. This is as pure wish that the pattern you followed and all. There is no restriction to follow the pattern. So these letters are called the informal letters. So now students, it's time for the home assignment. What you will have to do, you will have to make the title page of lesson 7, that is Princess Aubergine, in your text copy. You will have to do the vocabulary meanings, phrases meanings in your text copy, and you will have to do the exercise A and B of page number 39 in your text copy. Do exercise A of page number 40 in your grammar copy, and you'll have to write a letter to your father asking him to send you money for buying a school uniform and course book. You will, so this letter is to a father, so it's the informal letter, and you will have to write it by your own. Right, my dear students? That's all for today. Allah Hafiz.